All right, everybody, welcome back to another deep dive. Today we're talking RFK Jr. and the absolutely wild situation with his name on the ballot, or trying to get it off the ballot, I should say.
Right.
It's a little confusing, so we're going to bring in our expert here to help us parse it all out.
Absolutely.
Don't forget to hit like and subscribe and all that stuff. Leave us a comment down below. So yeah, RFK Jr. dropped out of the presidential race a while back, endorsed Trump, and now he's in this weird legal battle.
Yeah.
To trying to get his name off the ballot in a couple states.
You know, you usually see candidates doing everything they can to stay on the ballot.
Right.
It's kind of unheard of to have a candidate actively trying to get removed.
Yeah, and this isn't just any candidate. We're talking about a candidate.
Exactly.
So is his name still on the ballot?
So the main ones that have been in the news are Michigan and Wisconsin.
Okay.
Two pretty important swing states.
Huge swing states, yeah.
And in both of those states, the secretaries of state, who happen to both be Democrats, they actually blocked the attempts to remove his name.
So this is where people start to see like a conspiracy, right?
Yeah, you can see why people would think that.
Yeah.
I mean, there's definitely a potential strategic advantage here for the Democrats.
Right.
Because even if RFK Jr. is telling people not to vote for him,
Right.
just having his name on the ballot could siphon off some votes that might have gone to Trump.
Yeah, so it's sort of like the spoiler effect, I guess you could say.
Exactly.
So what did the courts say about all this?
Well, the cases actually went all the way up to the Supreme Courts of both Michigan and Wisconsin.
Oh, wow.
And both courts upheld the decisions to keep RFK Jr.'s name on the ballot.
Wow. So even the Supreme Court was like, no, you're staying on there.
Yeah, essentially. But it's interesting because there was a dissent in the Michigan case from Justice Gorsuch.
Okay, I'm curious about this. What did Gorsuch say?
Well, he argued that forcing RFK Jr. to stay on the ballot when he's actively trying to get off raises some pretty serious concerns about election integrity. And he even suggested that this whole thing could be seen as like an attempt to manipulate the outcome of the election.
Wow, that's a big accusation.
It is a big accusation, and RFK Jr. himself actually went on social media and called it a purely political move to hurt Trump.
Okay, so this is getting pretty heated.
Whoa.
Now, this isn't the only state where this has been an issue, right?
Right. He was actually successfully removed from the ballot in North Carolina.
Okay.
But then you've got a situation like New York where he was initially kept off the ballot because of residency issues.
Yeah, it's like all over the place.
Yeah, it's a real mess.
So what does this mean for people who actually voted for RFK Jr.?
That's the big question, and it's especially concerning because early voting has already started in a lot of places.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
In Wisconsin, for example, over 1 million people have already voted absentee.
Wow.
And Michigan has seen huge numbers for early voting as well.
And RFK Jr.'s name was on those ballots.
It was.
So what happens to those votes now?
Well, it's unclear at this point, but it definitely raises questions about disenfranchisement.
Yeah, like those people thought they were voting for someone who was actively running.
Exactly, and now their vote might not even count the way they intended.
That's a big deal.
It is a big deal, and, you know, this could potentially affect the outcome of the election, especially in those tight swing states.
Yeah, we're talking thousands of votes here, potentially.
Absolutely.
Wow, this is pretty crazy.
It really is. It just goes to show how complex and sometimes even messy our election system can be.
It really does. So let me just try to summarize this for everyone. We've got a candidate, RFK Jr., who wants off the ballot, but the courts are saying he has to stay on.
Right.
Some people think it's a political move to hurt Trump. Other people are concerned about voter disenfranchisement.
And we've got millions of people who have already voted with his name on the ballot.
It's a mess.
It really is.
So I guess the question for our listeners is this. What do you think about all this?
Right. How should we balance the rights of individual candidates with the potential for strategic manipulation of the system?
Are there reforms that we need to consider to prevent this kind of thing from happening again? These are all really important questions that I think we need to be talking about.
Absolutely.
So please leave us a comment down below. Let us know your thoughts. And don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more deep dives. We'll see you next time.